Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your September 2026 elemental reading for the elemental energy of Earth. Earth covers the zodiac signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So if you're Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or have Earth high up in your chart, this message is for you. If you've never had your charts read, there's a link in the description. It's not sponsored or anything like that. It's just a tool that I found very useful. It's a natal chart, and it gives you your 12 houses with all the little signs and symbols. And then there's a 10 to 20 page description of what all those little symbols mean and how they interact with each other. It's actually pretty in-depth thing if you're interested in that. The other links are affiliate links, so those do help support the channel. Other than that, we will get going with your reading for Earth. I cast the I-ching hexagram before we started the video, and yours, Earth, is number 55, and it's titled Abundance, so that's a good thing. Text is abundance and success. The king inspires them. Do not be sad. It is fitting to be like the sun at its zenith. So this is talking about being bright and fulfilled. Gotta move my chair. And how things are just going to be going the right direction. The king inspires them. So there's someone that you look up to that's actually that might be noticing you, and that's inspiring your actions. Or it might be something you will look up to and you want to emulate what they're doing, and that's what's happening. But do not be sad. It is fitting to be like the sun at the zenith, meaning you want to make sure that you're in alignment at the highest point for everything that's going forward here. So our foundational line down here on the bottom: on meeting a prince of equal rank, though he accepts his hospitality for 10 days, he is not at fault. Progress is made in winning respect. So this one sounds interesting because it's like, well, he accepts hospitality for 10 days, he's not at fault. In other words, you're kind of hanging out at this point. You're not actually moving forward. But the thing is you're building a reputation. You're building connection, and that's why progress is made in winning respect. So even though you're not moving towards your goal, because you both are on a similar trajectory, you're actually able to make some agreements. You're able to get some support. You're offering some support. So it's building a kind of a connection there that's going to help you out later on down the road. Our second place line: so great is the obstruction that the midday sun appears to him as a star. To advance now would be to invite mistrust and various ills. However, confidence seems to be on the, of course it's on a second page, just a second, increase, so there is good fortune. So this is where you're really wanting to pay attention to your intuition, Earth. This is not so simple. So great is the obstruction, the sun appears as a tiny star. So something's getting in the way here, and it's not the same with the other prince for 10 days. That was actually not a bad thing. But there's something that's blocking you. There's something that is obstructing your ability to move forward. And to advance now would be invite mistrust and various ills. So you don't want to push through this. You want to figure out what the problem is and fix it. And by doing that, it allows you to move forward in the correct time, and that's where good fortune occurs. So you're not doing this to force something. It's an interesting way of looking at it, because yes, you've built this bond, you're working together with this situation, but the recommendation is not to force. If you're struggling to see your end game, if you're struggling to get that goal achieved, take a break, look at other alternatives to end up at that point. Or maybe that goal is probably not the best one as you have grown spiritually, so it's a time to reassess is what they're really wanting to bring forward here. Our third place line: so copious is the rain that even at midday there is obscurity. He breaks his right forearm, no error. So there's all this rain that's coming in. It's really saying you're not in control of everything. So this is stuff that's outside of your control that may be slowing the progress. But breaking the right forearm is saying that you're really not useless, but it's also not time for you to be doing this. So again, you're not rushing situations here. This month, I'm really getting this feeling that yes, things are going to go well. You're going to build the correct bonds. You're going to build the correct foundation, but you're not going to put a lot of effort. When you do put effort in, trying to force something, it might not be the best option. So that's why you want to make sure, oh, it's raining, it's obstructed, I can't move forward right now. Okay, that's fine. But if I push against it, well, there's your forearm. Now you can't do anything for a minute. So you want to make sure you're taking your time with this. Our fourth place line. So great is the obstruction that the midday sun appears as a tiny star. Meeting a prince of equal rank, good fortune. You're going to run into other people on the path is what this is saying. There's going to be this obstruction just isn't going away, which is a good indicator that maybe there's something that needs to be dealt with. And in this instance, it could be some shadow work that's being brought forward. It could be something from your past that you keep dragging around and not letting go of. But you're going to meet another prince of equal rank, so someone else who's on a similar journey to you that is going to work with you. And this is where this good fortune occurs, because you've already hung out with the one for 10 days, which is great. And the 10 could be important, or it could be the days that are important. It's however it plays out in your life. But with this one, you're just meeting this other prince, so you might meet another person in a similar situation. What the energy I'm getting here is, don't put so much effort into and focus on must plow through. Maybe there's other lessons to be learned here, and when you learn them, that obstruction just disappears. That obstruction might be literally the block of, well, I have to do it on my own. Says who? There's that option. Your fifth place, the variegated beauty of the sky after the storm appears. Blessings and fame are won, good fortune. By letting the things that you cannot control play out their course, things are going to go well. You're not fighting it, you're not pushing it, you're saying, you know what, cool. You don't want me to move forward right now, that's fine. I just met this cool person, I'm going to hang out here and visit with that prince of equal rank. So you're getting the point here, and by not fighting it, something more beautiful comes forward. The beauty of the sky after a storm. And if you have ever been outside after a rainstorm and the sky starts to lighten up and then the sun bursts through, there's something uniquely beautiful about that. It's almost inspirational, and that's the energy that's coming in here. So our capstone, our top line, there is abundance in his dwelling at the wall around his house. Yet peering through the gate, he sees no one. For 3 years, he sees nobody. Misfortune. Just because you had to be solitary for a period of time, or running into the random prince on the same journey, that's great. But you don't have to isolate when things get tough. That's where you're looking out the gate going, no one's coming to visit. Well, that's a misfortune. You didn't build the connection. And it doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It's just saying we need to have people in our lives, Earth, that are supportive of what we're doing and on a similar journey. Because if you're not connecting with people as you travel along this journey we call life, it's not going to go so well. It's just going to be more of labor and mundane and ugh and gross. And for Earth, what I'm feeling for this month is this reminder that it's okay to take a pause and have a social life. It's okay to take a pause and rediscover what it means to have fun. It's okay to hang out with like-minded individuals. The one thing that came forward with that particular I-ching was you don't want to hang out with the lessers. So the people who are on a similar journey but just beginning, you don't want to hang out with them because you're already down the road a little ways. You also don't want to hang out with the people who are so far beyond the ones that are inspiring you. By hanging out with them, you're going to feel less than. You're going to feel ego with the other ones, but less than with those. You want to be with people who are in a similar situation, building forward. All of you have like goals ahead of you, and you're all working together. That's the important part of this, and that's where that last verse comes in. For 3 years with nobody, you don't want to be in that situation. You want to be connected to others, and you can take the years out and put whatever time frame you need in there, because with that connection, that's building the strength, that's building the abundance. So with that, we'll hop into your cards. Before we do that, if you see something different, I read intuitively, so if you see something different with the cards, please let me know in the comments. It's always interesting to hear other people's perspectives. While you're down there, hit that like, comment, subscribe, all that fun internet stuff. I go week by week through the months. September has about 5 weeks, so we'll do 5 sets. Each week we look at a guide or guardian, a message from source, and then a lesson or some more information from the tarot. So Your first week's guide or guardian is listen deeply, which ties right into your I-ching. This is that energy of paying attention. Listening not with these things, but with your heart and with your third eye, so you can actually understand at a deeper level. Just like with I-ching talks about, there's times where you're going to spend some time with someone else, 10 days, with a prince of equal rank. It's not because you're not paying attention, it's because you're being called to listen. You're being called to a deeper awareness. And when these kind of angels come in, they're here to help you understand the lessons that are being brought forward. And I feel like with these angels in particular, this is a month-long thing. Yes, it's in the first week, but they're coming in to be like, we're hanging out, we're going to help you along this journey. This month is going to have rewards and challenges. We want you to be able to process the challenges, learn the lessons. That way they don't last that long. So, your message from Source is letting go, learning to let go is the phrase down there. And when we start to listen more deeply and we let go of that must achieve everything yesterday energy, and trust me, that's not easy, but when you do, and you start to get into that flow state, that obstacle, that obstruction that's blocking everything, suddenly is not as important as it used to be. It's still there, it's not going away, but you're not focused on it. You're more focused on the experiences of life, of growth, and of joy. And that's that part of when you start to listen to that deeper intuition. Yes, there's an obstruction there. But why is it there? Is it because you need that time, those 10 days with the prince of equal rank, so that you can grow? Or is it because you needed to meet the other prince who just helps you build a little bit more of a social network? It could be either or, and that's where this letting go is just let it happen. There's no point in forcing things. Your message from the tarot is the King of Swords. I have to edit this one because that's how we roll here. The King of Swords is about achievement. Intellectually, you have achieved a great deal. And swords are air, which is your opposite, so this may not be the most comfortable thing to hear. You've done so much that it's okay to take the break. You're ready for the next step. You're ready for any challenge. Obviously, he's ready for the sword that may be coming, but it's also saying you don't need to rush. Wisdom does not mean rushing into things. Wisdom is saying, you know what? Been there, done that. I don't need to fight with this right now. And that's what's coming in this first week, is setting yourself up for success in this month. Be okay if stuff doesn't flow the way you would like it to, Earth, and that may not be the most comfortable thing to hear, but that's the important energy here, is it's okay to make friends along the way. It's okay to deepen a connection before you go charging forward, because charging forward this month doesn't feel like it's going to be a good idea. Take your time, let Source work with you, your guides and guardians, and the angels, see how things play out. Your second week's guide or guardian are the angels of taking a step back. These are angels that help you pause. You could see this as a hermit energy, where there's times where you do need to pull away from whatever it is you're focused on. And that's what the I-ching talks about as well, is it's okay to take that 10 days with a prince of equal rank. There's no misfortune there. It's a good thing. It's okay to meet the other prince when you have run into that wall again, because sometimes you have to take a step back to see the path around it. Sometimes you have to step away from a problem to understand the solution. And that's what's coming in the second week, is the angels are saying, we're not ditching you. You're not in something that we're not going to work with you through this. Your soul agreed to a lot of these things before you came in. We agreed to support you and help you. So that's the energy that's coming in this second week, is, yes, we are fully aware of what's going on. We see stuff you don't. So let's take that step back. Let's get out of like face smashed into said thing and pull back from it and look at it again. Is it really saying no, or is it saying this is not the direction you want to take to achieve this? Some other ideas. Our message from Source is good fortune, inviting the magic in. When we take the step back and we really observe things, it allows us to see stuff from another perspective. When you do that, it's changing in accordance to your will, your divine will, which is magic. So you're working with bringing your magic into the reality. It doesn't mean you're going to force something. You don't want to do that. You want to work with the balance and the harmony of nature that's aligning you with good fortune. When you work with this energy, of divine will. It's a form of, you can call it magic if you like. I like the word, so we'll stick with that. And it's going to open up the fortune. You're in an energy this month of success, of abundance, of things going in the right direction, Earth. But sometimes we have to figure out that maybe the path we were on is not the best option. Sometimes we're not seeing problems that are on that path. So sources like roadblock, redirect. And that's where you have to step back and be like, is there another path here that I'm not seeing? Is there another option here that might make a bit more sense? Your message from the tarot is number 20, the Judgment card. This is just before you succeed. Just before 21, which is the world. This is just before the next step. Judgment is discernment, knowing the right path from the wrong. This week, the second week, is saying take a step back. Good fortune, working with magic, the magic of you. When you step back and you observe, you can see that maybe there's something different. That's where the discernment comes in, the judgment of the right and the wrong, the path ahead versus the path less chosen or not chosen. You get to make a second decision. You're not shut off. This is not a one and only thing for you, Earth. Source is saying you have the option to change direction. You're still heading for the right goal. You're still heading for where you're supposed to be. Maybe there's a shortcut you missed. That's where you step back. That's where you use your discernment, your intuition to adjust the perspective. What do I need to do differently? Hanging out with those Prince of equal rank is actually a good thing because it gives you perspective on where you're at. That's why hanging out with people who are on a similar journey and in a similar location or spiritual path is going to be beneficial for you because you can bounce ideas off of them and you're going to help each other grow. So our third week, the angels of the blessings and abundance are coming in. These are the energies that also work with balance, because abundance is where you're headed, just like the I-ching talks about. Abundance and blessings work together. So this is that reminder that as you're going forward here, yes, it might be a struggle. It might be times where you feel like, what is going on? But what's really happening? You're hanging out with a prince of equal rank. That's a blessing. You're learning things from them. That's abundance. You're making connections. You're building friendships. These are things that you are going to carry forward outside of this situation, outside of the month of September. So this month is really saying, get ready. Big things are shifting. Big things are happening. And it's time to build that support team. If you already have a support team, maybe it's time to reinforce it. Check in with everybody. How's everyone's doing? That way you can really anchor in this positive shift before it even happens. So you're pre-planning for it. Your message from the source is leadership setting your goals. By doing this checking in, by doing this connecting that's happening this month, it's going to show your leadership skills. Leo the lion, you got your fire energy building up here, good supportive energy for earth. You also have sunflowers, joy, peace, prosperity. So you're in this energy of growing, expanding. But earth, you're the one leading the charge. You may not realize it just yet, but this is where you're headed. And this is the beauty of working in this kind of an energy field. Because yes, there's things stopping, putting blocks up, saying, hold up, take a minute, pause. Okay. By paying attention to that and realizing sometimes there's times where you just don't move. Judgment, knowing discernment, intuition. You're going to lead by example. You're going to show others, without realizing it more than likely, that, you know what, sometimes you're into that wall, it's time to sit down and have a cup of tea. Sometimes you're into that wall and it's like, you know what, maybe I just need to cool it for a second, take a nap, read a book, whatever. Figure out what's going on here and contemplate, what am I doing? Where am I heading? And what is the other perspective that I'm not seeing here? Sorry, they were showing me images again. So you have a lot of different perspectives and options. Your message from the tarot is the 3 of swords. Swords is air energy again. It's your opposite. And this is, don't get distracted and lackadaisical. Don't get this energy of, I don't want to. I'm not going to. I just think I can do it myself. And it's this almost arrogant energy, but it's also the energy of heartbreak. It's the energy of, that's an odd way of putting that. It's the energy of failure because you weren't paying attention is what I'm hearing. So it's this energy that is being called forth in this third week of Be the one who leads by example. Do not try to force the issue. That Three of Swords is also tying into that I-ching energy of breaking the right forearm and now you can't do anything. So if you hit that point where you're just like, I will do it my way, I don't think so. Universe is saying you're not going to do this your way. It's going to be done a little different because the way you want to do it is not going to be the best for you. God, source, your higher self, the angels are saying, you're going to get to the goal, don't worry about it, but maybe there's a path around it. Again, that shortcut idea. Look for those as you're moving forward. Your fourth week's angels are and guides are ask and receive. Sometimes we ask, sometimes we have to ask for help. Sometimes we have to be open to receiving that help. When you hang out with that Prince of equal rank, either the 10 days or even a few, you're offering help, but you're also receiving it. You may have to ask for some support at some point. They're willing to offer it because you've offered it to them. Be willing to receive it. So in this fourth week is this balance part where you're doing a lot of the work, you're doing some heavy lifting, especially that leadership part, whether you realize it or not, but sometimes you have to ask for help and support. That's not a bad thing. That's actually supportive. That's actually the sign of a good leader, is knowing where your limitations are and being able to work through them. And that's the energy that's coming in here. So our message from Source is Archangel Raphael, the provider of healing for mind, body, and spirit. Again, working with some air energy here, so these are challenges for you. Archangel Raphael, which is the angel of east and air, is coming in to say, let's heal the past. Let's heal the parts of you that you are unworthy, that you feel are shameful. Let's heal this. Let's move beyond it. You have done the asking part and you're ready to receive. Now it's time to receive the healing. Source wants you to know that you don't have to carry these burdens alone. Yes, you're running into an obstacle, but that obstacle is only there because you have other lessons to learn before you can move beyond it. And maybe the lesson is to look around and not be so focused on only one way. There's more than one option in most situations, and that's what's being brought forward here. And Archangel Raphael is saying, let's heal this. But it's through an intellectual, it's a mind aspect. So it's not just, we're going to heal the body, that's important, but let's heal the problem. Let's get into that root, let's dig into the roots a little bit, and let's root that out so it's no longer a situation for you. Your message from the tarot is the Ten of Wands, again with your fire energy. This is the completion of a passion project. This is a completion of something that is near and dear to your heart and soul. So clearing this stuff up, this asking and believing and Archangel Raphael healing that's coming in this fourth week is actually completing a cycle for you. It's completing a part of your journey. Just like the I-ching talks about, sometimes those obstacles are there for a reason. The sky breaks and this beautiful image comes through the clouds. This is your image through the clouds week. When you do the work and you understand the asking and receiving, understanding the blessings from the angels, specifically Archangel Raphael this week, that's where the aha moments are going to come in. Yeah, the barrier might be there, but you're going to see the path around it. Yeah, that obstacle might be still in the way, but suddenly you see there's a ladder that goes over the top of it. You're going to see the way around it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Because it's not closed off, it's saying this may not be the best choice right now. But you're going to see the other options by the end of this fourth week. Your fifth week is the angels of self-satisfaction. This is the healthy pride, a pride in a job well done. It's saying, you know what, I did it. I worked with other people, I built a network, I have succeeded. Yeah, the obstacle, whatever, it's fine. I'm not worried about that anymore. Because you've moved beyond it, Earth. You've moved into this higher energy that allows you to accept the things you cannot change. But it also gives you the discernment to know maybe that's a different option and I can pick it. So you're not just stuck in one mindset. This month is really about you coming to the awareness that, yeah, there's multiple paths out there. You've picked one. And now you maybe get to pick a different one because that one might not be the best choice. Your goal is still the same, but maybe the journey is a little different. Your message from Source is illusion and embracing the truth. This card always makes me laugh because it's the energy of facing the truth, embracing the truth, The name is illusion. It should to me, it should be breaking the illusion. That's what allows you to face the truth. And the illusion was, I only have this one way of doing this. But is that true right now, Earth? Because I don't feel that by the end of the month, that's going to be a true statement anymore. And sometimes we have to break our illusions so that we can move forward. And that's, Source wants you to understand this. You don't have to, this is the only way. Doesn't mean that there's not another option. And it also doesn't mean you have to take the option. It might be that you're being called to observe the whole situation, and then you can actually make it through, because maybe that tiny speck at the end of this obstacle is actually the other side of the tunnel. Maybe it's not really an obstacle. Maybe that was the illusion, is it was a sheet that was hanging up. There's a lot of different ways to deal with illusions, because illusions are there to trick you. And that's where this month there's been some tricks played on you. And that's not bad, but it's because you needed the lesson to learn and to observe and to change how you approach situations. So your lesson from the tarot is Seven of Swords, again with the swords. So there's some challenges here, but you're going to do well with them. You're going to succeed is what I keep hearing. The Seven of Swords, I feel with this one, is not feeling qualified, not feeling good enough. This week is saying don't fall into this trap, because you have succeeded. You have proven yourself. You've come to a different understanding, and you've broken the illusion of unworthiness. You've broken the illusion of, well, I can't have that because fill in the blank reason that so-and-so said so. Why care? Like, yes, they might be family. That might even be your spouse. But they might also be trying to redirect you because they can't see themselves doing what you're doing. And Earth, what I'm feeling here is this is your journey. You're going to meet some awesome people along the way, especially this month. And it's saying that you're going to have the support you need, because there's some challenges that are showing up here that need to be addressed that allows you to move forward. But overall, I am feeling that this is going to be a very positive month, and you're actually kind of opening your arms to these challenges, like, you know what, let's just do this. Yes, there's a path ahead of me, there's an obstacle in the way, let's do this, let's get it over with. And that's pretty much how I'll leave this one for you. Have a great rest of your month, Earth. It looks like you're going to keep your chin up because there might be some challenges. Other than that, have a great month, and I'll see you in the next video.